It's not the volume of stress that breaks people. It's the absence of structured recovery. So the problem for most high achievers isn't that they're pushing hard. It's that they've developed their thinking and their lifestyle for output and left no space for recovery. The problem with most stress management or productivity videos is that they assume you have lots of time on your hands. They assume you don't need to deal with the kind of day-to-day stresses of life, like getting the kids ready and doing the school run before work, or having to work 3 jobs just to be able to afford childcare or holiday clubs. Now you might watch those videos and think, where am I going to find time to meditate or journal on a remote beach? It's hard enough to find time to take a proper lunch break or go for a walk and be in bed by 10. And if you're leading a team, running a business, or holding together a career and a life at the same time, that advice just doesn't feel helpful. It feels like it was written for someone else entirely. And you know what? It was. But here's what they're not telling you. The problem isn't your stress. The problem is that almost everything you've been told about managing it was never designed for you or the way you actually live. So in this video, I'm going to show you what stress management can look like when it actually fits your life. Not the version of your life where you've suddenly got a team of people taking care of your day-to-day responsibilities, managing your inbox, doing the school run and organizing your itinerary. Your actual real life. And stay around to the end because I'm going to leave you with one specific thing that you can do today that won't require you to become a different person overnight to make it work. If this is your first time here, my name is Ferguson. I'm a therapist, stress coach and trainer. I work with overwhelmed professionals and leaders who are paying the cost for not managing their emotional and mental well-being. Every video on this channel is built around the idea that learning to manage your emotions will inevitably improve your life. If you find this useful, I have a free stress relief cheat sheet in the description. It's a 5-step guide to help you manage stress better. It's worth grabbing it before we get into the video. Let's get into it. Here's the myth I want to challenge up front. The wellness industry has spent years telling us that the path to lower stress is simplicity. Slow down, do less, step back, or just stop altogether. And for some people in some seasons of life, that's the genuine right call. But for most high performers, and if you're watching this video, I'm willing to bet that you're one of them, this advice creates a second problem on top of the first. Not only are you now stressed, but you also feel guilty for not having time to meditate. Now, to be clear, the myth isn't that stress management matters. It does. And as a therapist and coach who has had hundreds of conversations with leaders and overwhelmed professionals for over 2 decades, I can tell you that it definitely does matter. But the myth is that there's one version that works for everyone, regardless of who they are, what they do, or how they're wired. And there isn't. And the research explains why, in a way that should help you to feel less guilty for having tried the standard advice only to find that it didn't work. So where does that leave the advice itself? Well, let's look at what the evidence actually says, because it's more interesting than most people realize. So here's something that's received very little attention in mainstream wellness content. High performers don't just experience stress differently, they often need it differently. Research on what's called stress inoculation shows that people who regularly operate under challenge and pressure can build a more robust stress response over time, but only if they also build in strategic rest and recovery. Now, the key word here is strategic, not random, not I'll rest when things get calm. Strategic, meaning intentional, planned, and organized to meet the demands of your current reality. Studies on elite performance, originally from sports science, now applied across leadership and high pressure professions, consistently show that it's not the volume of stress that breaks people, it's the absence of structured recovery. So the problem for most high achievers isn't that they're pushing hard, it's that they've developed their thinking and their lifestyle for output and left no space for recovery. The primary goal of stress inoculation isn't to eliminate stress, but to teach you how to manage it effectively by improving your coping skills and self-confidence. Just a quick one, if this video is resonating, I think you'll get real value from my free stress relief cheat sheet. It's a 5-step guide to help you manage stress better. The link is in the description. Grab it and keep watching. So let me describe someone that you might recognize. They've read the books and they've tried all the apps. They set the alarm from morning routine and keep it going for an impressive 11-day streak. They know intellectually that they should exercise more, sleep longer, eat better, and worry less. But every time they commit to implementing the advice properly, every time they set up a new system, something in their life comes along to break it. So they conclude, this just doesn't work for me. Or worse still, I just don't don't have the discipline. Now, it's important to know that that is the wrong conclusion. Why? Because it makes people give up on the right goal because they've been using the wrong tools. You see, the problem isn't necessarily discipline. The problem is that the tools were designed for a different lifestyle, a different schedule, a different set of pressures. Applying them to a high demand and overwhelmed professional life is like using a roadmap for a city that you're not in. The map isn't broken, you're just in the wrong city. So that said, what does the right map look like? Well, let me show you, because this is where it gets practical. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Stop trying to carve out large blocks of recovery time that you don't actually have. The time doesn't exist. Instead, start building micro recovery into the structure of the day you actually have, the reality you currently live in. Micro recovery isn't a lesser version of proper rest. For people operating at high output, the research suggests it can actually be more effective because it works with the rhythm of a demanding day rather than against it. So what does micro recovery look like in practice? Well, it's a 2-minute deliberate transition between meetings. It's not scrolling, it's not answering a message, but a conscious reset. It's a lunch break that is genuinely a break, even if it's only 20 minutes long. It's the commute used as a decompression window rather than an extension of the working day where you make more calls or scroll through more email. Now, none of these requires a different life. They require a different intention inside the life you already have. And that brings me to the one specific thing that I want you to leave with today. Because knowing this intellectually isn't enough. You need something concrete to reach for. So here it is. I want you to do what I call a recovery audit. It takes about 5 minutes and you only need to do it once. I want you to look at your typical day, not your ideal day, your actual day, and find one existing gap that you're currently filling with low value stimulation. It could be checking email or scrolling on social media, any kind of low value activity. Now, that gap is your recovery window. It already exists. You're just not using it as one. So this week, pick one of those gaps and protect it. Not for productivity, to plan your next task. Use it for genuine disengagement, even briefly. The reason this works is physiological. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that does the heavy lifting during complex tasks, needs periods of low demand activity to regulate, consolidate, and restore its capacity. Without those periods, your mental performance decreases, your emotional regulation suffers, and your stress increases more quickly. Intentional disengagement isn't laziness, it's strategic maintenance on the most important tool you have. And that's what stress management that respects your lifestyle looks like. It starts with a small, intentional shift inside your current reality. And one more thing worth saying before we close, because it tends to land differently for high achievers than for anyone else. Recovery isn't the opposite of performance. It's the infrastructure of it. The most sustainably high-performing people I work with aren't the ones who've learned to push harder. They're the ones who've learned to recover with the same intentionality they bring to everything else. And that's the shift. And once you make it, it's irreversible because the results speak loudly enough that you don't need convincing twice. So please stop thinking that things will change when things calm down. Things don't calm down. Demands fill the space you create. They always will. What changes is your capacity to meet them without costing you more than it should. That capacity is built now, in the gaps you already have, with the life you're already living. It just means being deliberate and intentional. Stress management advice that respects your lifestyle isn't about doing less. It's about introducing strategic rest and recovery, using the gaps that already exist with the intention that's already in you. So with that said, what's one gap in your day that you could protect this week? Just one. Let me know in the comments. I'd genuinely love to know what you're working with. And if today's video resonated with you, download the free stress relief cheat sheet using the link below. It's a 5-step guide to help you manage stress more effectively and a practical place to start. If you're wondering what deeper support could look like, I do work with people one-to-one. Details are below, no pressure. Feel free to get in touch for more details. I'll see you in the next one. I'm rooting for you. Be well. From what I've seen from those I work with who are high achievers and busy professionals, my guess is that you just keep going. You remain focused, you persevere, you dig in. And that's something you've probably done for a long time. You've probably just gotten used to it.